I know there's some of you guys out there that are hoping that there's something that Drake can do to get up off that mat, right? Timestamp Drake. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Let's put out proof, you know what I mean, that Kendrick is, the truth is, it's a wrap. He was on the mat. The referee counted 10. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Now, Ali and Frazier had multiple matches, and maybe that'll be the case here, but this one is a wrap, y'all. So give it up. But it does speak to the delusion, the biases that we have. And it was on both sides, right? There's a lot that we can glean and learn from this epic hip hop battle. It wasn't just about these two guys. It's also about us and how we engaged in the conversation. We'll talk about that on the other side. Welcome to yet another episode of Said Nicely. You already know who it is. Nick Nice in the place to be. Nick Nice in the place to be. Before I start talking my talk, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good shit, the engagement. I mean, y'all got enough engagement going on anyways. Throw some at your boy. Okay? Just keeping it real. But today I want to talk about the takeaways from this epic rap battle, right? And anytime I talk rap, I got to have my hip hop hat. Okay, because I'm coming from the top row on some Triple H. You know what I mean? Triple H, hip hop hat. Come on, man. Drake and Kendrick ain't the only ones rapping out here, but we're not here for that, okay? Today, we're here to talk about the key takeaways from this epic rap battle. Let's get into it. Key takeaway number 1, the hate for Drake is real. Okay, before I start, though, I want to make it clear, I am actually objective. So a lot of y'all claiming that, but I actually am objective. Okay, because for me, I don't really have a dog in the race. Now, do I like one artist more than the other? Maybe in terms of their music, but am I heavily invested? Am I on some fanboy type of time? No, absolutely not. And that hopefully is why y'all fuck with me, because I can kind of give y'all some objectivity if you look back at some of our previous episodes. But let's talk about it, right? So the hate for Drake is real. You know what I mean? Now, there's so many layers to the hate, right? There's obviously people who I think, as far as fans, who are kind of like wagon people who follow along with the crowd or whatever. So I get that, right? But let's start from the very top, because even Joe Budden surmised apparently there's an industry hate for Drake. The fact is, not only was there rappers and producers, right, and apparently maybe label execs or label heads behind the scenes, there is real hate for Drake. Now, I don't say this as an excuse because, what did Drake do to gain this hate? You know what I mean? Apparently he out here fucking niggas, girls and shit, you know what I mean? Moving a little, listen, that's not me saying it. This is what the streets are saying. Okay. But the point is, when you go into any situation, you have to be aware of the people who don't fuck with you and how that can fuck with you. You dig what I'm saying? Like in this particular case, he was going against the momentum, right? Because Kendrick came out with like that, and that momentum was crazy. So then he pops out. Clearly it's on Future and Metro joint. You got beef with them, but I don't think he really thought through this entire situation, right? But the point is that the hate was real, right? And it manifested itself in so many subtle and not so subtle ways, right? In terms of the people going against you. And I think like as an audience, we're watching this and at some point it starts to become, damn, why do all these people don't fuck with you, right? At some point in time, we start to look at you and be like, well, is there a reason why? Right. And I think where Kendrick was successful was pointing out the fact that Drake is not a good person. And low key, this is why people don't fuck with him, along with a bunch of different reasons. Right. But the hate for Drake at the top level, from an industry perspective, from an artist perspective, even maybe from a producer perspective. Right. And you have to ask yourself, what did you do? Right. So when you're navigating through life, man, treating people any type of way ain't cool. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even if you're on top, sometimes at some point you might not be on top. And if you shat on people and did disrespectful thing, when they get their opportunity to come back at you, they absolutely will. And I think a lot of that happened here. So it's not me trying to absolve or be like, oh, he, got his ass whooped. Low key, if you're going by hood standards, right? If he did some fuck shit, right? We would sit there and watch him get his ass whooped, even if we weren't the ones doing the whipping. Right? Because we feel like, yeah, you deserve to get your ass whooped. Now, we ain't saying kill the boy, right? But you get your ass whooped, you get up, you brush yourself off, you do better and you keep it moving. You dig what I'm saying? But the hate is real. And I think sometimes people have to be able to be accountable in terms of what did that person do or what did I do to elicit this hate? Because I believe at some point in time, no matter how big you are, you can be had. Okay? No one man low key is bigger than the field. And I think, unfortunately for Drake and hopefully for us, we're learning that lesson before we end up like him. Now, conversely, the second takeaway is how you move beforehand is super important. Let's look at Kendrick Lamar, right? So he's smart, he's artsy, he's been low key, got enough hood to him to a certain extent. But the low key part is super huge, right? Because in the battle, there was not a lot of information that Drake could lean on in terms of how does he go at him. And by the way, anybody who pretended like this beef could have not gone dirty, I've never seen a clean beef in hip hop. At some point in time, it's going to go dirty. That's just the nature of the game, right? So yeah, we're going to keep it wrapped. That's bullshit. You put it out there, you know it's going to go dirty. And so that way you absolve yourself of any responsibility of going dirty, right? So let's just cut that bullshit out, right? Like this wasn't going to go there. But the point is that Kendrick Lamar received the benefit of the doubt throughout this entire battle, right? Mainly because of how he moved beforehand. Even if the stuff that Drake said was true, we had not seen Kendrick Lamar move in that way for the most part, right? He's been low with his. A lot of times in the social media age, everybody got to be outside. Everybody got to show everything that they're doing. But while you do that, people are getting a perception of you, right? They get an image of you, right? And then eventually that may come back to haunt you. I love how KL is moving. You dig what I'm saying? And how he's been moved. In fact, that's the other thing I also love about J. Cole. Like just because you're famous, especially in their case, you don't have to be outside, right? You got two famous rappers, Cole and Kendrick, who don't be outside like that. They play it low. Meanwhile, a bunch of y'all are out here having the need to be on socials. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I get it. If you're trying to build a business, I'm not knocking that. But I mean, in terms of the need to be outside and to have attention drawn to you, even if you're outside, you can still move low. Why? Because that mystery, right, I think for most people is intriguing. It's alluring. And then you add smart, right, and artsy to it. People are going to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? So I feel like for most of y'all out here watching, if you want to get the benefit of the doubt, just be mindful of how you move before you need it. You dig what I'm saying? And there's always value in moving low. You don't have to show off for people. You don't have to talk about your accolades and what you've done. I mean, on the other side, Drake bragged about how he moved in terms of taking girls and shit like that. So now when you bring that shit up, it's going to stick to you differently, right? Because Drake's been outside. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendos about how he's moved, right? So I think if you're watching, you want to move more like Kendrick. So that way, if a situation gets real, you will hopefully get, you guessed it, the benefit of the doubt. Number 3. People are not as objective as they think they are. I've said it before and I will say it again. Most people receive things through their emotion, their emotional ears, and see things through their emotional eyes. If you were predisposed to not like Drake, right, how you receive some of Kendrick's disses is going to hit differently versus somebody who may be on the other side. That's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you got your ass whooped by somebody. They put out a dope song. You think you're going to really big up the song? Oh, wait, Drake did that. The point is, you're not. You can't be objective in that moment because emotionally you are charged. And that's okay. We're all human beings and that happens to all of us. The thing that gets me, though, is that too many of us are walking around talking about we're objective. We're not. We're not objective or we're not biased. We are. In many cases, primarily when it comes to things that are close to us or things that involve emotion. It's easier to be objective, right, when you're looking at something from afar. And I think okay, cool. Some people can do that. Most people can do that. But once people are emotionally invested, whether it's your favorite artist or whether it's about an issue that you're really passionate about, I've seen people in this conversation, whether it's because they fuck with Drake or they fuck with Kendrick, have that bias, right? But also in terms of some of the issues that they were touching on. And you can see that emotionality to a certain extent, and that clouds people's ability to be objective. And I think if we understand that, then we can work towards being objective, right? Because if we understand we have a problem, we can work to correct it. We can figure out how to distance ourselves emotionally from a situation, how to be fair and balanced, how to challenge ourselves, how to be open to being challenged by others. But the truth is, man, way too many people claim they're objective, but the truth is, no, they're not, because they're too emotional, right? And hopefully we can get there, man. But stop lying to yourself, and you damn sure ain't lying to me.
Part 2 coming soon.